combined statement to the Georgia Department of Agriculture. I think there are some things that are being left out. I think that need to be told. It says, my name is Susan Leavins. I have been employed with Lowndes County Animal Service since March of 2006. I was hired as an animal control officer. I have witnessed many disturbing things from neglect, abuse, suffering, falsifying documents, federal, state, and local. At this time, some of the dates I don't specifically remember, but all documentation is at the shelter or the administration building. I am writing this statement of my own free will, and I have not been influenced in any way, other than by the suffering and abuse that I have witnessed for the last 4 years. In the summer of 2007, I was dispatched to a home on Gruber Hicks Road in reference to a skinny horse. When I arrived, I noticed a sorrel lying under a makeshift shelter. Otherwise, the owner advised me the horse had been down for 2 days. The horse was turned over to the Lowndes County on that day. Officer Ricardo, James Blackledge, Officer Boson, and myself pulled this horse onto the trailer as it could not get up. It was transported to Lowndes County Animal Services and was pulled off the trailer. And it laid on the ground. Linda Patowski came outside and got a scoop of feed to see if it would eat. And I told her if it was going to eat, it probably needed to eat oats. She gave me a dirty look and continued on. The horse had boils on its elbows, hips, and outside knees and hocks. The horse was never seen by a veterinarian. It laid in its own feces and urine for 3 days. I asked Linda if she was going to get Dr. Thornhill to look at him. And Linda Patowski said, no, there's no need. He's too far gone at this point. On the second day, the horse was in the protective custody of the county. I was appalled that he had not been seen by a vet at that time. I called Steve Shattuck with the Department of Ag and advised him of the horrible situation and asked him to come to the shelter and look at the horse. When Steve arrived, I took him to the pasture in the back. He was even appalled at the condition of the horse. After Steve looked at the horse, he advised Linda that the horse needed to be put down. Shortly after the horse incident, 2 pot-bellied pigs were turned in. They were both intact males. Linda decided they needed to be cut, castrated, making them barrows. Linda recruited a shelter attendant, and her name was Amanda Jordan. One of the hogs was taken into the shelter in the tech room and brutally castrated by Linda. Their tusks were even cut, and the hogs were not given pain meds or antibiotics. The main thing I remember was the screaming. It was so loud that it hurt my ears. They were placed back outside. I was off for the next 2 days. When I returned to work, I went to see how they were doing. They were both not eating, and they had fly larvae maggots in their wounds.
You have 1 minute to close.
I'm just going to say that a lot of these things, they're being addressed, and the whole thing is not being addressed, and that's been the problem from the beginning. Mr. Pritchard came to the shelter 4 years ago and advised us in a closed meeting with Mickey Tillman and Suzanne Pittman that if one more person came to the shelter and made a complaint, that we would all be fired. He would get inmates to clean, and the 3 people that would remain there would be Linda Patowski, Michelle Schultz, and Kay Jones, who has recently, she retired. There are some underlying things I think that need to be addressed other than just the topic. There's more to the story than what's being told. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you.